Hello again. I was live and then I wasn't. I'm sorry, there's something really funny going on my screen that never happens before, so that's why I was looking at it like, what is going on? Yeah, Facebook is so weird. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but it looks like I'm live. Hi, Chriselle. So, everything must be okay. Very strange. Okay, well, I'll just roll with it. I'm gonna do my thing and whatever happens, happens. So how is everybody today? I'm excited to stamp with you guys. Just getting my tablet set up here. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna try to ignore that. It's distracting. So that's never happened before, but I have like a screen in my screen of myself that's never been there. I don't know how to get rid of it. So I'm afraid if I swipe it, I'll go away again like I did the first time. So I think I'm just gonna leave it there, but it's kind of distracting. So that's never been there before. And I'm sure Facebook did some kind of update, right? Because it seems like they can't ever leave well enough alone. So, okay, I'm gonna quit talking smack about Facebook. How is everybody? I've had a rough week, but I was looking forward to tonight. A little bit of cheering up. It'll be great to spend some time with you guys. So I have a really fun project planned. Hello, Wanda. It's good to see you. I hope you made it home okay. Hope you had a safe trip. So I'm going to do kind of like a spooky, we're going to do a sponged background and make it look kind of Halloween-y because I'm in kind of a spooky mood. So, yeah, not a whole lot else going on. I had a wonderful time. Most of you guys know my son Lucas. He's an amazing young man. And we had a wonderful time up north this weekend at my mom and dad's. And he drove, which was really nice for me. It was very low stress because I just got to ride shotgun and buy the road trip snacks, you know. So, it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. I don't get to see him a whole lot. He'll stop by the house once a week or so and just visit quick, or sometimes he'll bring a load of laundry and he'll do his laundry. And so, you know, but this was like a whole weekend with him. So it was really nice. We had a good time. Can't wait to go back. So that was nice. Otherwise, you know, I was supposed to go vote today, but I had the time screwed up. And they alternate this week and next week. They're alternating mornings and afternoons. And I don't know, I was going to go this afternoon and then it was this morning, so I missed it. So otherwise, there's not a whole lot going on. So, but looking forward to stamping with you guys. Today and yesterday, I was working on putting together the packets for my Christmas Stamp-A-Stack. Doing it kind of online via mail since I'm not doing it in person this year. Very sad. I think that's kind of why I think I've feeling blue and I've got the quarantine fatigue and all that stuff that they talk about. My husband and I have been in quarantine like, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 times over the last few months, and quite a few of those times from each other too, because my husband's been exposed or I've been exposed. And our daughter has asthma, and I want to visit my mom and dad. You know, I don't want to bring them something, so I'm just tired of it all, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. So kind of have the blues, I think. I think that's my problem. But so I was working on getting cardstock ready. I put the packets together for the orders that I've received so far. If anybody wants to order, let me know. It's $50, no tax. That includes tax and shipping. You'll get the stamp set, you'll get a whole pack of paper, you'll get the gems, and you'll get 5 yards of ribbon. You'll get enough cardstock to make 8 cards. There'll be plenty of designer series paper left over to make way more cards. So I feel like it's a really good value. And so let me know if you're interested in that. And excuse me, otherwise I think I'm gonna flip the camera around and start stamping because I'm excited. Wanda just got home. Good, I'm glad you had a safe trip. So, okay, here we go. Close your eyes if you get motion sickness. My stand is always like really tight or really loose. And now it's really tight. All right, I'm a little crooked here too. I keep having to adjust my lighting because it's getting darker and darker and darker, and I think that's part of my blues is like, I don't like when it's so dark. I want it to be light. I want it to be light. So, okay, just making some last minute adjustments here. And then we should be ready to go. I gotta tighten my stand a little bit because it just moved. I don't want it to slip while we're in the middle of something. So, this is my Christmas Stamp-A-Stack by mail and all the fun things you're gonna get. Just gonna move a little bit closer. So a few more tweaks. Like I said. Okay, hopefully this will be good. All right, so yeah, this is my Christmas Stamp-A-Stack by mail. For $50, you'll get the stamp set, you'll get the designer series paper. That's a full pack. You'll get a full pack of the wonderful gems, and then you'll get 5 yards of the real red braided trim. And then you'll get, like I said, you'll get the cardstock pack to make 8 cards. You'll have plenty of supplies left over after that to make more cards. And so, yeah, let me know if you're interested in that. And then we also, I just want to remind you, we've got the designer series paper sale going on. So if you're interested in any other designer series paper, this is 15% off regular prices through October 31st. And it's only select packages. It's not all of the packages we order, but it's a really big selection. So I'm sure you'll find something you're interested in. This is my host code for October. I think I told you guys that at the beginning of the month I had posted the wrong one. I'm so sorry about that, but I did fix it. So if you're interested in placing an online order, you can use this host code. And I have a lot of things to give away. One of the things I wanted to tell you guys is somebody messaged me last week and said I would love to see your craft room. I call it my stamping studio. That's kind of what I called it since before we even moved into this house. And so it's my stamping studio and it's nothing fancy, but I cleaned it this week because I've been helping my mom go through all her stuff, and it kind of inspired me to purge, which I really haven't done since I moved into this room. And so I did a purge this last few days, and it's really super clean right now. So this is like the time to show you guys. So if you're interested in sticking around for a tour after I'm done here, let me know and we can do that. That would be fine with me. So, okay, this is the stamp set we're using tonight. I'm actually going to use this beautiful tree. So much fun. And we're going to do this beautiful sponged background. So I'm going to show you guys how I did that. This was a card I made several months ago, and I think I had showed you the first time I used this stamp set. And I dug it out and I was like, that's really Halloween-y. I think that I'm gonna do that. So here I am. I'm gonna get out my ink pads. I am using, hang on one second. I'm using Gorgeous Grape, Pumpkin Pie, Crushed Curry, and Old Olive. So these are the 4 colors I'm going to be using. I'm going to grab my sponges quick. Because I didn't do that beforehand. So, okay, can you guys see everything okay? I'm just going to make a quick little adjustment because I want to be able to have my paper in front of me and make sure that I'm sponging but still on the camera so you guys can see. So, okay, I am using just regular Whisper White, and I'm going to use my Gorgeous Grape. And I know a lot of times I will put a kind of like a pool of ink in the lid like that, but this time I'm actually just going to get the ink right off of the ink pad like this. I think it just works a lot better for me. So I'm going to put this on here. It's going to get messy. I'm going to warn you now. It's going to get messy. I want to make sure that I'm on camera when I'm doing this. So I just have a sponge. See if I got one to show you. I do. So we sell these sponges. They come in a circle, and I just cut a wedge off every time I need one. And so I just have a wedge, and I actually have this really cool TIG punch that I punched and I stapled on there. So I'm gonna get some ink on my sponge, and I'm just gonna start sponging across the top. This is gonna be the sky, and like I said, it's gonna be messy. It's not gonna be pretty, but it's a lot of sponging and blending. And so once I get some ink on there, I'm just gonna blend and blend and blend and blend. And I need a little bit more ink. And just blend and blend and blend. Okay, so then, oh, see, I just put my finger in the ink. Told you it's messy. So I'm going to get this out of the way before I do that again. And then I'm going to take the pumpkin pie, and I'm going to take my sponge, and get my ink on there, like so. And I kind of want that to be, yeah, about a good 2/3 of the way down, I think. So a little bit more. And then I'm just gonna blend. I'm gonna blend that in. And I'm gonna kind of blend that up by the purple. I'm gonna put a little bit of ink on the edge of the sponge so I can really get that in there. And then blend a little bit more, because you know in the sky it's gonna look kind of cloudy, and I'm no artist, but I want it to blend. So, and then I'm gonna put that away. And I'm gonna go to the bottom. I'm gonna use the old olive, and this is gonna be the ground. And same thing I did the other times. This is kind of tricky because I'm not going to go as far up, but I want to get that ink on the paper like that. And then I'm just going to blend. Can you guys see that? Okay, love it. So now I'm just gonna add in that yellow, that crushed curry. So I've got my sponge. I'm just gonna get my ink in there. And I'm pressing kind of hard on the paper. Now I'm gonna blend kind of the yellow and the orange, the crushed curry and the pumpkin pie together. I'm gonna kind of blend those together. And the cool thing about this is you're really gonna get something different every time. I've done this several times now and I rarely get the exact same thing. So that's what's kind of cool about it, is it's kind of one of a kind, you know? Blend that a little bit more. I don't want to have the circle lines in it, which is why I'm really doing the blending. Okay, so that's my spooky sky, I guess I call it. I'm just gonna get a wipe and wipe my fingers. Where did I put them? Here we go. I cleaned, you guys. I cleaned out every drawer, every cabinet, every basket. Kind of feels good. I got rid of so much stuff that I wasn't using. So I can show you a little bit about that later. Let's see. Can you use the finger stamp things too? Oh, yeah. You mean like the sponge daubers? I actually tried it with those the first time. You can, but I felt like it left a mark. You know, when you first put the dauber down on your paper, it leaves a circle, and I couldn't blend that out. So you could, but I like this sponge better for this particular thing. So, all right. Yeah, I couldn't seem to get that circle mark to blend. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I've got my Gorgeous Scrape card base, and I'm gonna give that a score. And then I've got another piece of Gorgeous Scrape that I'm gonna emboss with the Tasteful Textile Embossing Folder. And I'm gonna use my new machine for this. Ta-da! I love my machine. It's so amazing. got I don't know if you guys can see this. It's not quite on the camera, but the base plate tells you all the different sandwiches to use, and so we're going to be using the 3D embossing folder. So it tells me to use the base plate number 1, which is what I've got, and then I'm going to use the I'm going to put my paper inside the embossing folder, line that up just like that, and that's going to go next, and then plate number 4 is going to go on top. So I've got that here in my machine, and I'm going to crank that through. And I've got this beautifully embossed piece of cardstock. So there's my base. Just gonna put this away quick because it's in my way. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this down. And right before I went live, I checked my glue to make sure it wasn't clogged. So look at, we are all good here, yay. And I just want to check. Okay. I scored that very well. I just wanted to make sure I was gluing it on the right side, and it doesn't matter. Way to go. Proud of myself. Usually I score things crooked. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to set this aside because I want to stamp that tree. So I'm going to bring my skyscape back in here, and I'm going to use the Memento Tuxedo Black, and I am going to ink up this tree like it's nobody's business. And when I'm doing big stamps like this, I like to do it upside down. Then I make sure I get like dang near perfect ink coverage. Because especially with black, you don't want to miss spots. You know what I mean? It'd be easy to fix. You could fill it in with a marker, but I just don't want to do it. So I'm going to stamp my tree. And it's not going to fit perfectly. That's okay. But that is amazing. I love it. Very spooky looking. Okay, so now what I wanted to show you guys, these are my little embellishments. So I'm going to let that dry for just a second, because when you use the Whisper White or the Very Vanilla paper, that ink takes longer to absorb in and dry than it does on regular colored cardstock. That'll dry almost instantly, but whenever you do it on white or the Very Vanilla, it's going to take a little bit of time to dry. So I'm just going to set it aside so that I don't smear anything. So what I want to show you in the meantime, I've got the black Stampin' Blend. I think it's, yep, it's the dark basic black. And I've got a few rhinestones. And I want my rhinestones to be black to go with this kind of spooky card. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my brush tip And I'm going to color 3 rhinestones black. You can do this with a Sharpie. That's what I used to use before we came out with the Stampin' Blends. I used to get out a Sharpie, but since we have the Stampin' Blends, I've been using these and I really like them. So I put on a coat and then I'm going to go back and color it again a second time because I want them to be nice and dark. And they're still going to be blingy, like you can still see the shine. So they're really cool looking. And I want these to dry a little bit as well. Once it dries, because it's alcohol based, it's not going to rub off. So you don't want to use a regular water-based marker because it'll rub off. And then you'll get black ink all over your card front and all over your fingers. So kind of want to let that dry. The other trick I want to show you with this black marker, this is really cool, my upline taught me this. I wanted to flick, okay, I can't describe it, but I can show you, right? So if you look, you'll see all the black flecks on here. And I did that with this marker, so I'm going to show you how to do that because it just adds that little spookiness, you know? And you want to make sure that you don't have important things laying around because it will fly. So what I'm going to do is move stuff out of the way, and I'm going to get a piece of paper to put behind me. Hang on. So that I don't splatter all over my desk, you know, because it would probably stain. So I'm going to take my marker and whoops, wrong side. You want to use the brush side. And hopefully you can see this on camera. I'm going to put the brush up against the cap of the marker, and then I'm just going to flick. Did you see that? It's so cool. You can do as much or as little as you want. I think it adds to the spookiness. I want to do some at the top. There. So cool. Boy, I could just like flick all day, couldn't I? But we're not going to. All right. So I'm just going to let that dry for just a second. Because I have one more thing that I want to show you while my rhinestones are drying here. The last thing I want to do is I want to make a bow with black ribbon, and I don't have any black ribbon. So I'm going to make some, and I'm going to take my Stampin' Blend. Again, I'm using the brush tip. I got very messy here tonight, you guys. I've got this is that white crinkled seam binding. It's 1/4 inch. I love it. I use it all the time. And part of the reason is because I can color it any color I want. And so I use it all the time because I can make it whatever color. I just color it with my blends. I should say whatever color I want. As long as I have the blend in that color, I can color it. And again, you don't want to use a regular water-based marker because it'll come off. It'll rub off and it'll make a huge mess. And this one, you really don't even have to do both sides. Sometimes you can if you want it to be a real bold dark, but a lot of times I just give this 2 coats. I'll start at one end and work my way out, and then I'll go back and go over it a second time and let it dry, and it's nice and bold. And so here I am, I'm making a black ribbon to put on my card. So I love it, it's great. And There. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute. In the meantime, I can get things glued down now because I think from stamping my tree and doing the black flicks, that should be dry. So I'm going to glue that onto my black layer here. I'm going to watch and see if there's any comments. Okay. Oh, my daughter's watching. Hey, Brooke. So, okay, that's glued down. So now, I think I forgot something, but it's okay, it's early enough yet. All right, so I'm gonna cut this. So I've got my black ribbon. I'm gonna get this out of the way. So what'd you guys think? Who knew that you could do all of those things with the Stampin' Blends marker? Who would have thought, right? I'm so excited about all of the things I learned. So, okay. I am going to get my base back in here. And I want to glue this. I'm not going to put it right in the middle. Normally I do everything in the middle, but I wanted this kind of down in the lower corner. So that's what I'm going to do with dimensionals. So I'm going to, whoops. Totally missed the mark with that one. I get my dimensionals on here. Get that backing off. And I'm going to put this down. You can see, I hate that when you can see the backing. It's gonna drive me nuts. Put that down in this corner like that. I want it to be not crooked, but I think I just glued it crooked. Okay. Whew. Wow. Okay. We do have something else to do. I put hello on my card. You could do thinking of you or whatever else sounds good to you. Oh, those pieces. The backing of the dimensionals stuck to my sweater. I'm gonna do hello on a piece of basic black cardstock. And I'm gonna emboss it with white embossing powder. So first I'm gonna use my embossing buddy to reduce the static. I'm gonna bring in my Versamark pad. And I'm gonna stamp hello. Hello. Anyone else's dog go crazy when they hear the word hello? Oh my gosh, Rosie just automatically assumes someone's here when you say hello, and she barks like crazy, drives me nuts. So, okay. I'm gonna put white embossing powder on here. I don't know if you guys remember a few weeks ago, I showed you this tip with the clipboard to hold that so I don't burn my fingers while I'm heating it up. Whoever came up with that is genius. Gotta say. So while I am heating this up, I'm gonna watch for comments. Rosie misses you too, Brooke. That's for sure. She is not liking the cold weather these days, I can tell you. She doesn't want to go outside or go for walks or anything. There we go. We're getting some heat now. All right. So now I just have to trim that down a little bit. I am all done with my stamping. Now we just have to glue everything together. So, I'm just measuring kind of how I want this to be. I don't want it too long. How long is the one on this card? It's about here, and I think that'll work. Okay, so about like that. And so I'm gonna glue this down. I did use dimensionals, never mind. I'm gonna put, oh, I cut this crooked, hold on. There we go. So I'm gonna stick this down with dimensionals. So that's one thing you wanna take into account. I don't know if anybody talks about it, but when you're mailing a card that has lots of layers on it, you're gonna pay extra postage. And pretty much these days, anything that has a bow or rhinestones on it, you're gonna have to pay extra. And for the longest time, that had never happened to me, but I just have to tell you that this week, I got a huge stack of cards returned by the post office. Like, probably all the cards I had sent in a 2-week span, returned in my mailbox with stickers that said additional postage required. And some of them, I didn't even think were that thick, but they required extra postage, so that's just something you want to keep in mind if you're mailing cards. Is I think the post office has really cracked down on how thick an envelope is. So when I went to the post office to get additional postage to put on these cards, the lady at the counter, there was a couple of them, she's like, I don't think these are even that thick. And she let me put those through again, but the other ones she gave me, well, she didn't give me, she sold them to me, but they have like 70-cent stamps now. And so I'm just gonna start putting those on all my cards because then they won't get returned. So just something to keep in mind, something I learned that I wanted to pass along. So I've been tying this into a bow to glue on my card. That's what I was doing while I was talking, was tying the bow. And I feel like you guys tie a bow and you don't need me to show you how to do that, so am I right? I'm gonna stick this down with a glue dot, and then I'm gonna trim the edges. And I'm thinking, you guys, if you want to stick around for a tour afterward, I may just do that since my room is fairly clean. I'd like to show it to you now than another day. So I'd be totally up for that. I'm just trying to decide, do I want like straight edges or angled? Maybe I'll do angles, just for a little bit of doing something different. So, and then last but not least, we've got to put those black rhinestones on that I colored. Those turned out fabulous. Gosh, I love my Stampin' Blends, especially the black one. You could see, I don't know if you noticed, my tip was kind of bent. And that's because I use it a lot. So I may need to purchase another one. But I think you get a combo pack for $9. So, whoa, they're not going to break the bank. I'm going to put the third one right above that second one there. Like that. It's not quite as dark as the other ones were, so I think I'm going to try to add just a little bit of color to that third one there without getting it all over. How's that? Perfect. I think it's great, you guys. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, I need to share because I forgot. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to show you this card that I had made inspired me to make another card this weekend that looks very similar to it. But I got out an old retired Halloween set and I made this Halloween card. I'm gonna send it to my niece. She's 2 and I don't know if she might get Halloween. I'm sure she's gonna have a costume or whatever. If they even do trick-or-treating this year, I don't know. But anyway, I thought I'm gonna send her a Halloween card. So what do you guys think of that? Like I said, it's an old retired set. I think it was in a paper pumpkin kit from probably 4 or 5 years ago. So I added the bats and the raven and the tree and the word boo. That's heat embossed. And then on the inside, I did Happy Halloween and I had this skull and crossbones sticker. And then I decorated the envelope. And so we got this spooky little tree down here in the corner, and I did Happy Halloween on the flap. So I think I'm going to send that to her for Halloween. So what do you guys think? I think it's fun. I think it turned out really cute. So, okay, now that we're done with that, I forgot to announce the winner from last week. So last week I made this really cute coffee fun fold gift card holder. So I'm going to be sending this to Janet. Congratulations. So you'll get this. You can use it as inspiration or you can send it to somebody. It doesn't matter to me, but congratulations and thanks for watching. So, okay. Who wants to stay and see a tour of my clean stamping studio? Like I said, I'd rather do it now than when it's a huge mess again. So, okay, let me grab the phone. Let's see if I can do this without disconnecting. Ouch. Okay. Woohoo. I'm going to just start at the door. I gotta figure out how to flip the camera. Okay, here we go. So let me unmirror because I'm all confused now. It's backwards. Hang on. Okay, so this is my door coming in. My basement is not finished yet, but this is our door going up to our family room. And then this is my craft room, my stamping studio. We did really wide doors so that we're gonna do double barn doors. And eventually this will be like a bedroom. This will be our 4th bedroom. So when you come in the room, I actually made this hook myself. These are my bags from Stampin' Up! Events and things that I've gone to. And then this is my shelf. I have all my ribbon up there. I have just storage bins. These are cards that I sell, boxes of probably office supplies. These are all my sponges. I have one for every color, and in each drawer I keep the sponge and a sponge dauber. And it may seem a little crazy, but I've been doing this for so long that I eventually ended up with a sponge for every color, and I thought, why throw them away, you know? So anyway, that's how I store my sponges. And then I have more cards in there. These are just like card bases and more envelopes. And then these are all my scrapbooks. I used to do a ton of scrapbooking, so I have a lot of them. And these are all my little ones from trips and various events. These two baskets right here are full of retired things, and I was going through and getting some things bagged up because I need to give this stuff away. I used to have one bin, and I would always go into there when I had in-person events, but since I haven't had any events, this is really built up. So what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to be sending out prize patrols for orders because I got to get rid of this stuff. So help me out, okay? Okay, so this is where I keep all of my card stock. That box on the bottom is like gift bags and kind of odds and ends. It's actually the only thing in my room that I allowed to keep one box that I'm not really sure what to do with yet. So this is my cutting station. It was kind of a surprise from my husband. He surprised me. I knew I was going to have a shelf, but this countertop was a surprise. He ordered it like a smaller piece when he ordered the big one. So these are all my dies. These are all my embossing folders in that bin. These two boxes are all pictures. These albums are my scrapbooks, my Project Life books. And then these 4 boxes are full of cards. I don't know if you guys remember, I just purged my cards recently, and now I've filled up 4 more boxes. So I am also going to be giving away a ton of cards. This is a sign that my sister gave me for Christmas a few years ago. It means a lot to me, and I like to change these things up. These are things that other people have given to me, so my daughter made that beautiful butterfly watercolor that I showed you guys a few weeks ago. And then a card from my mom, a card from Megan, and this was from my cousin Amber. Her kids couldn't hug me, so she sent me some high fives, which means the world to me. And then this is where I do my Facebook Lives every week. And don't mind the ugly egress window. It's really not pretty. This is my embossing station. This is where I do my heat embossing, and it works really well because there's an outlet there. And then these are all my Project Life cards. I don't know if you guys know what Project Life is, but it has totally changed the way I scrapbook. It's amazing. And then I just have like a storage drawer. I keep my grid paper in there. It's nice. It's so big that it fits. And then I have storage down there. A lot of that is just products that I use when I sell my cards. And then I have some drawers. These are really neat and organized because I'm just neat and organized like that. Stuff that I use fairly often. Cleaners, I have extra envelopes, my Stamp-A-Majig, and then this bottom drawer has got my paper trimmer and some other odds and ends in it. And then over here, this is where I do the majority of my stamping. because it's where all my ink pads are. So I've got all the Stampin' Blends, I've got all my ink pads sorted by color family. All my stamps are right up there on my shelf, so it works perfectly. I've got all of my punches here. And let's see what else. Oh, I got to show you guys this. Lucas made this for me for my birthday quite a few years ago. It's so funny. Another candle makes another wish come true. Happy birthday, Mom. And then on the inside, it's to the mother who is and always will be the best mom in the world. It's your day to do whatever you want. No one will stop you, not even the cops. So, yeah, I love that card from my son. He was probably 13 or 14 when he gave that to me. Okay, so coming around the corner here. Oh, this drawer. This is just where everything I use all the time is stored. So scissors, glues, watercolors, blocks, envelopes, extra glue, everything is right. And then this is all my storage bags for when I'm traveling, like when I used to do events. So it feels like that hasn't happened in a really long time. These are the shelves that my husband and I made, and so I'm always displaying cards up here on the wall. It just kind of inspires me. And then this is where I have all of my designer series papers. This is just like a storage box with things in it that I use, extra scrapbook pages. Oh, these are the magnet cards that I store my dies on. They work really well, and so I got some extras. These are printing supplies, so I've got cardstock, paper, printer paper, and labels for mailing. You guys, my postage costs, I mail a lot of stuff. So, and then these are all my planners. I've been trying to sell the ones I don't use anymore, but they're pretty and I just like to look at them. So, these are all of my photo albums and my other Project Life albums. And then these two bins are full of mailing supplies. I've got padded envelopes, I've got lots of plastic bags and like UPS boxes and stuff like that in there. And then this shelf is all of the cards. Normally I would do a Christmas craft show every year. I don't think that's happening this year. So my rack is kind of sitting empty, but I've got magazines, all these card boxes. These are full of cards that I've used at classes going back to, yes, 2009 when I first started. It's crazy, I need to get rid of them. But here they are. So these are all my older catalogs, extra paper. If anybody wants to have a catalog party, I've got extra catalogs. So, and this is my table. Sometimes it migrates in the middle of the room. Today it's off to the side. This is where I do my coaching. It's where I do my book work, pay the bills, work on taxes, whatever. Oh, this is kind of a sneak peek. These are the cards for my Christmas Stamp-A-Stack. I was only going to show them to the people that buy the class, but it's kind of a sneak peek, I guess. This is how I store my scraps. I have a folder for every color family, and then I can just reach in and find what I need. So that works pretty well. Garbage. The other thing I want to show you is, let's see. I think there was one more thing I wanted to show you. Thank you, Chriselle. I know I'm very lucky to have this because I remember when I used to have a suitcase in a closet and I had to roll it out to the kitchen table and get everything set up. And I'd be like, oh, the kids are gone for the afternoon. I get a little bit of downtime. And then by the time I got everything set up, they'd be home and I'd have to pack it all up. And it was like, now I just have a room where I can just drop it and walk away, and it doesn't matter if I put it away or not. So I'm very lucky to have this space. I'm very lucky to have a man who knew how to do this. So anyway, this is my old desk, and I love it, but it's been moved so many times that it might fall down. Like, it's not really tight anymore. So I just kind of, that's why I work at the table. This is my favorite thing. It's all of the things that are important to me. And my friend made it, and if you look, like you can see down here, it's made out of wine corks. And so it's pretty awesome. And I just keep filling it up, and I'm just at the point where I could use another one. But anyway, so then there we are at the door again. And so this is my craft room tour. So I hope you guys liked it. It sounds like you did. Yeah, so there we go. So that's all I got. I hope you liked the card tonight. Don't forget to leave a comment, or you can like the video too, but if you don't like the video, you have to leave a comment, otherwise I don't know that you watched and you don't get entered in the drawing. So make sure you get into the drawing. Thanks for stamping with me tonight. It really brightened my day. So thank you. And then feel free to share if you want. Hope you like the tour, and I will see you guys next week. Okay? Bye.